Hello students. So as far as syllabus of Pi is concerned, we have practicals in this. There are total, let's say, 10 practicals as per your syllabus. Now, out of which 4 practicals are there in group A, okay, and the remaining practicals are there in group B. Means assignment number 6 to assignment number 10. All of those assignments are there in group B. Group A was having microprocessor programming. In that we had 80386 or 8086 microprocessor, and to program that microprocessor we used TASM software, or to which we can call it as assembler also. So in that we have used TASM. Now for group B we will have to use KEIL software. It's KEIL. In microcontroller programming part we are going to program 8051 microcontroller. Okay, so let's see how to install this KEIL software and how to run that KEIL software, and after this we will going to perform different experiments by using this KEIL software. So at the beginning type keil.com, as you can see over here. Okay, type that keil.com, that is keil.com on your browser. Then you will observe this kind of home page. Okay, after this go to this download button, click on this download button. Here you will get redirected to this particular page. Okay, so after getting redirected to that particular page, go to product downloads. Okay, after clicking on this product download you will get redirected to this particular page. Okay, so this KEIL has 1 2 3 4 products, out of which we will have to select C51, this particular thing. Okay, after clicking on this you will get redirected to this page, in which you will have to fill up this form. Okay, after filling up this form, next you will get redirected to this particular page. This is the download page actually. So from this page you have to download this C51v960a.exe. okay, so after clicking on this the download will get started. Okay, so here download is happening. So after downloading this exe, you will have to run this exe. Okay, after installation you will also this kind of exe file. Okay, we will double click on it. Okay, after this some dialogues will get appeared. Okay, and okay, I agree all the terms, and okay, it will get location. After this give your first name, you can give any random name. Okay, last name, company name, email. Okay, this is just for the sake of some completion of the formalities. Then click on next. Now it will start extracting the files. After successful extraction you will see this kind of window. Okay, so we don't want to see release notes and retain current microvision configuration. That's fine. Add example projects to the recently used project list. If we want, then we can, otherwise we don't want as such, then we will say finished. Okay, so after finishing you can see this kind of icon has got created over here, that is KEIL microvision 5. Just double click on it, it will get opened up. Okay, now this is the window, this is a blank window basically. So in this way we have downloaded and run that file. Now we have microvision on our PC. So let's get started. Here we will create a project, that is new project. So firstly go to the project and select new microvision project. Okay, so this is a new microvision project. So I will put it on our desktop. Okay, I will create a folder over there, and within that folder all of my files related to this project will remain in that folder. Let us suppose I am creating a project and name of my project is first project. Okay, and I will hit enter. After hitting enter I will get entered in this first project. Now I will have to save the project. Okay, the name of my project is project1. Okay, and after that I will click on save. So after that a window will get appeared against select a device for target 1. Okay, here we are working with 8051 microcontroller. Okay, so here you can see there are lots of companies which offers different microcontrollers. Okay, we want our microcontroller that is 89C51RD2. Okay, so this 89C51RD2 is the derivative of 8051, because as we know 8051 is the basic microcontroller, and the companies like Microchip, NXP, you can see here. Okay, those offer more functionality which are integrated to the 8051 microcontroller. Means if 8051 is the basic microcontroller, then 89C51RD2, there can be RD1 and many of the derivatives are available, out of which we are seeing RD2. That's why if we talk about 89C51RD2, then we can get it from Microchip or NXP. If you click on it, you can see it is 8052 compatible high-speed microcontroller. Okay, so many of the features are same as that of our 8051. Okay, and here also you can see 8051 based CMOS controller with this 32 IO lines, 3 timer counters, 7 interrupt for priority levels. Means this is also almost similar to our microcontroller. So which microcontroller you are using for programming, it depends upon that. Means when to select microchip, when to select NSP is depend upon the IC which you have. Okay, so we will let's start with NXP 89C51RD2, this one. Okay, it is 8051 based CMOS controller, that's why we are selecting this one. Okay, then we will click on OK, copy startup.a51 to project folder and add file to project. We will say S because here startup code will get added. Okay, say S. Now here you can see along with this there is a first project, that folder has got created, and in this folder you can see startup file has got added. Okay, and this is our project. Now let's get started with the project. Okay, after this you have to select file and new. Okay, the moment when you click on that, editor window will get selected or editor window will get shown over here. So in this editor window you can write the program. So we will firstly write our first program. Okay, here I will write org00h. Okay, after this let's say we are adding two numbers. Okay, program to add two numbers. Okay, so after this org00h I will take a number, that is, let's say move a comma hash 33h. Okay, and after that I will move that 33h into some register. Let's say move r0 comma a. Move the content of accumulator means 33 into r0. Then move a comma hash 11h. Okay, and I will say add the content of accumulator with r0. Okay, and sjmp on the same instruction, because I don't want the program counter will go or will keep on increasing. Okay, now this is our program, simple program. We are taking 33 into accumulator and we are saving that 33 into r0, and we are taking 11, that is 11 in accumulator. So 33 will get added with 11 and result will get stored, means that 44 will get stored into accumulator. Fine, so this is our program. Now as we have written the program, it should get saved. So in order to save that program, I will click on this particular button, save. In the same folder we are saving the program. Okay, this is our assembly programming language based program. Okay, so here we will give the file name. File name is let us suppose test.asm. .asm is the extension. So by giving that extension, we are telling this software that whatever the program written, that is assembler program. Save. After saving, you can see the look of that program has got changed. Fine. So even you can firstly write the program or save the program that we have done right now, or you can firstly save that file and then start writing the program. That is also fine. Now next, this is the target one. Okay, so in that target you can find this is source group 1, and in this source group you can find this startup code. Okay, now this source group should contain startup code and your code also. So right click on it and add existing file to group 1. Existing file, we have test file, which is asm file. Okay, so asm file, name of file is test. Add and close. You can see this file has got added. Now under this project 1, we have startup code and our asm file, that is program file. Okay, now come to target 1. Right click on target 1 and option for target 1. Okay, you can see different tabs over here. So NXP P89C51RD2 related information is available. So XTL frequency, that is clock frequency, it should be modified. So let us suppose we are using clock of 12 megahertz. So 12 megahertz crystal is there on your board, or you can say 11.0592 megahertz, that is one of the clock frequency that we are using. Okay, then come to output. Okay, this tab. Then after coming to this tab, you can see here create hex file. Click on that. Okay, so hex file will get created, and this hex file is used to burn in the IC. Then we can say that program has got burned in the IC. Okay, that is the later part that we will see afterwards. Okay, then we will click on OK. So in this way, we have configured the target and the source group. Now how to see the output? So for that purpose, we will save this. We will build. Okay, and here again we will rebuild. Here you can see target has not created, missing end statement. Okay, so it means that we will have to write END, that is the assembler directive, END. Okay, and after that I will again save. Okay, here you can see after translate, you can see there are 0 errors, 0 warning. Okay, and here batch build, if you do, after that you will say build summary, 0 success rate, 0 failed. Okay, so in this way target has got created. Fine. Now we will debug this program. Okay, if we want, we can burn that program in IC also. Now to check the validity of that program, whether our program is right or not, whether it is giving right answer or not, that we will have to check. Here, when you execute this particular command, or when this command is executed, here this 33 will get added with 11. Okay, and the answer you will get is 44. So that answer will be there in accumulator. So this is the program. Now we will have to check whether we are getting this 44 as answer or not. So for that purpose, we will click on this button right over here. You will observe this D. Okay, that is start stop debug session. We will be going to start the debug session. So after clicking on this kind of a message will get appeared, evaluation mode. So you will click on OK. Okay, now here this kind of window has got appeared. Then where is our program? Our program has got hidden in this tab over here. Okay, so I will click on this. This is our program. Fine. Now we will try to execute this program. At this location over here, you can see there are menus. This is reset menu. Next is run menu. then this is for stopping the debug or code execution. This is step one line, this is step over the current line, so step will get skipped. Here we will see how the program is getting executed line by line. Okay, for that purpose we will require this button, that is step one line, this particular button. Okay, now if you want to reset, you can reset the program at this location, at your left, at this location. You can observe there are different values of the registers, that is register R0 contains 00, R1 contains 00, in the same way R7 contains 00. Okay, again this accumulator contains 00, B contains 00, then stack pointer is pointing to R7, that is the content of SP is 07, right? So in this way those are the program counter contains is 00, DPD. So you can see though this is the default values of the registers. Okay, now we will try to debug or execute this program. Now in order to execute or debug this program line by line, we will be going to use this particular button. So I am pressing this button now. After pressing this button, this particular window has got appeared. The content of accumulator has become 33. Okay, because you can see the pointer is at this position and this particular instruction has got executed, right? After this, again I will press this button. So content of accumulator has got moved into R0. So content of R0, you can see it is 33. Previously accumulator content 33, now the content of R0 has become 33. Now again next instruction is move a comma hash 11h. Now you can observe here over here content of a is 33. When I press this button, the content of a will become 11 just because of execution of this instruction, that is move a comma 11h. Then add a comma R0. Content of R0 is 33, content of accumulator is 11. So as per our program, when 33 and 11 will get added, the result will become 44, and that 44 will get stored in accumulator. Now here you just keep on observing the content of accumulator is 11, now it will become 44. So I will give a clock pulse, means I will press this button. Okay, you can see the content of accumulator is 44. The next is S jump here. So the pointer will jump on this instruction again and again. Okay, so in this way this particular instruction will keep on executing again and again. So here we have got 44 as the answer, right? Now to come out of this debug mode, click on that button again. In this way you have come out from this debug mode. In this way, if we are getting the answer 44 in the accumulator, it means that we have added two numbers. Our program is accurate. So next we will start the programming of different problem statements as far as the syllabus is concerned. So next we will start assignment number 6.